It is day 11 of the Alltech FEI World Equestrian Games. The first round of the jumping yesterday showed how challenging competitions at world-class level can be. In the vaulting arena, Austria showed their class, finishing in first spot on the first of 4 days of competition. Yesterday on Chez, we caught up with Dr. Lyons, president of Alltech, and two inspirational vaulters from South Africa. Gentlemen, thank you very much indeed for joining us this afternoon on Chez. Dr. Lyons, before we come on to these wonderful South African athletes, I must just say a very special welcome to you, because as president of Alltech, you've had a pretty busy 10 days, I should think, here. How's it gone?
Well, first of all, fast.
Sure.
I can't imagine that it has been 10 days, and it's been an eventful 10 days when you sing with Cool on the gang, and when you go out and see that incredible show jumping and incredible eventing. Fast, and what wonderful ambiance we have, and as you probably know, wonderful food. So yeah, it's been a great 10 days.
And the sport, and I know it almost could sound like a cliche to say this, but genuinely the sport here in the eventing and the para-dressage, we've seen incredible sport already, and more nations than ever before taking part. That must please you a great deal.
It certainly does. I mean, there's more nations, but it's not about the quantity, it's about the quality. And even to somebody like myself, who's not an expert in these sports, you don't have to be to realize we are seeing something at its best. And we're also seeing the emergence of some champions, of course, but some heroes, and that's really what this whole thing is about. Heroes, and you brought along two heroes this afternoon, and that's frankly what brings us back. That sort of brings Alltech back, and you know, we're a global company, and I've been in South Africa way before this young man was born, and it's been my wife's favorite place. We go there every single year.
Well, we with Grabow and Bongani from South Africa. Now, you guys are here to start the vaulting off. When does the competition start, Bongani?
It's already started today.
Oh, good. Have you competed?
Yes, early this morning. So.
How did that go?
I think it went pretty well. I mean, the team pulled it well together, and we're a bit nervous. I mean, we've got some newcomers into the big stage and all that, but I think they kept it well together, hold it well together, and I think everybody was proud of us. And I know I was part of the team, and so yeah.
When you mentioned newcomers, I guess that Grabow is one of those newcomers.
Oh yeah, no, definitely, yes.
Grabow, welcome. Many congratulations for representing your country at the World Equestrian Games. Are you feeling very excited about it?
Yes, I'm actually excited. I didn't feel a bit nervous, but yeah.
Not nervous?
Yes, but I pulled it together in the competition ring.
Great. And so you competed this morning,
yes.
and you're pleased with that?
Yes. I think I did very good.
Good. Brilliant. Bongani, you have a fabulous story. You've came from very humble, if not homeless, beginnings to be here to represent your country. How does that make you feel when you were dreaming those years ago? Not many years ago. What kept you going?
I mean, I think that there's a lot that keeps different people's. There's a lot that can keep you going as a person. You just have to choose the right road, obviously. And as you mentioned, for me, I mean, I've never dreamt I would be anywhere near horses, number one. I mean, they were very terrifying to me at the stage. And I think, you know, South Africa's got a lot of talents out there, and you never know what you can do, what you can't do. And I think if a lot of people can get out there and experience new things, I think people will find out that they have more talent in anything else rather than the one that they think they have. And for me, I think to be here, it was, you know, I mean, like I said, it was never my dream, but curiosity got hold of me and actually helped me out in a way. Well, not even in a way, in a very, very big way. And yes, unfortunate background and all of that, but I think I focus more on what people have done for me and where I come from. But you know, I don't look to in the past a lot. I try to take the past with me and just carry on going to a straightforward road. And everyone else who's helping in my life, and they'll always be there for me. And I'm very thankful for that.
And one interesting aspect about your equestrian career is, of course, it's you're vaulting here in Normandy, but you've been an international star on the dressage today. Tell us about that.
Oh,
to win in Germany, you have no idea what that means.
No, the dressage was, I think that was my first love. Obviously, I mean, that's when I came in contact with the horses in Cape Town, Philippi, and to be chosen to represent South Africa in the dressage, that was quite an honor for me. I mean, being overseas, number one, and seeing different countries come together and just have this wonderful atmosphere and learning about. I mean, I think every rider, we taught each other a few things, and that was a big thing for me. I mean, coming from a disadvantaged background and coming into this big, wide, open world, which I didn't even knew it existed, and it was a very, very big honor for me to represent South Africa, and to win the competition was also like it was not in my top things to do, I must say. So I just wanted to be proud of myself and make the country proud, and obviously that came with a lot of training before the competition. And I must say it was, like I said before, it was an honor, and I was very privileged.
We ought to say it was the Children's World Championship that you won in Germany, arguably one of the homes of dressage.
Yeah, no, definitely. That was a shocker.
Dr. Lyons, both, of course, Alltech, first of all, got involved with the World Equestrian Games in Kentucky. I know that we were there, and it was a wonderful games there as well, for which we thank you. Meeting people like Bongani and the other sportsmen, is that the reason that Alltech get involved? And why do Alltech get involved with sponsoring something like the FEI World Equestrian Games? Well,
on one hand, we can talk and say the brand and the ability to take your brand and bring your brand around the world, and that's a commercial decision, and that's a commercial requirement, and it happens. But it runs much deeper than that. I mean, when you look at young men like this, and you think of their dreams, and we often say for people like you that they need to have 5 things going for them, and they have to dream, and with your humble background, where you were, and dreaming and so forth, and then you have to dare, you have to just go and try it and so forth. But along with that has to come another D, and that's desire. You have to want to make it happen. And when you went to Germany and you won that event in Germany, there was a lot of other people who also wanted to dream and to dare and desire. But then you decided, this is it, and I'm going to make it happen. Then you come to the last D, which is perhaps the D that Alltech is particularly proud of, and that's dedicate. We've dedicated ourselves to our business, and our business is about health, the health of the animal, the health of the human. But you have to dedicate. And there's the old adage that the definition of genius is 98% perspiration and 2% inspiration. So when I listen to these 2 young people here, I mean, that dedication comes out and that fun comes out. And you must have fun. You must enjoy what you're doing. If you don't enjoy what you're doing, none of these other things are going to happen. So for us, as it was in Kentucky, it was a unique opportunity to showcase our business, to showcase our company, to showcase the 4,000 people we have. South Africa has always been a very special place for us. We've been working there for years and years and years. It's a very strong agricultural program. We have a lot of philanthropic activities down there. It's a good spot. And when I look and I see the green here, and of course I come from Ireland, and that's green, and we're in Normandy, and that's green. So I think you've chosen your colours very well.
Grabow, Dr. Lyons talked about dreams. Do you have any dreams?
Yes, I'd like to play soccer for my country in maybe 10 years' time, and still do show jumping and vaulting.
Wow. So, like Bongani, an all-round true sportsman. So is soccer your number 1 love in sport?
No, show jumping is number 1.
Show jump number 1, okay. May I ask you, do you have any heroes in show jumping?
Yes, it's my grandfather and Ben Meyer.
Wonderful. And do you support any European football teams?
Yes, only one.
Who's that?
Barcelona.
Barcelona. Great choice. Bongani, we ought to talk about the wonderful position that you kindly took up last year for the FEI as being the ambassador for the FEI Solidarity in South Africa. That's quite a huge mantle to hold for you. Tell us about you, because that's only been about just over a year now.
Yeah, no, it has been quite some time now. But like you said, it was quite a weight on the shoulders, and you have to act appropriately. Obviously, that's number one. And I think we've done pretty well in South Africa in terms of the solidarity. We've got a couple of programs that my coach and I are trying to put together, and at Shumbashaba riding stables. We've got a couple of disabled kids that we would like to help out with the vaulting as well, and a couple of disadvantaged kids just around the area, just take them out of trouble and bring them into the sport to see if they enjoy that or not. And I mean, the only thing we can do is help and see if everyone else around, if they want to join the sport, or just to give somebody a dream, something to look forward to. I mean, I know for myself, I never had a dream until I came in contact with the horses, and people around that involved with the horses. They help you in those kind of aspects, and I just wanted to put my 2 cents in as well and see if I can't take 1 or 2 children out the street, and for them, to give them a dream to become something important, to become something that they want to become, and yeah.
Fantastic. Dr. Lyons, the Solidarity Programme, of course, both the Olympic movement and the FEI Equestrian movement is I'd say almost it's vital, and we're already seeing great progress around the world in terms of equestrianism, and I want to use the word the usefulness of horses, but I don't want that to be belittling. But there's, those of us that have grown up with horses, as you have and I have, there's a chance we could almost take them for granted because we've been around them so long. But they bring so much to so many people, don't they? And can still do so.
They bring out that connection between man and horse, between an animal and horse. And there's something wonderful to watch a child without fear approaching this enormous animal. And there's something wonderful about seeing that animal responding to a person without fear. When our children were little, my wife, who had effectively never been on a horse before, but she's fearless. And so when the children would leave, we had 2 horses. One was called Champion, and the other one was called Six Pack. So ironic, since we have our beer and so forth. But she was left cleaning these horses and cleaning the shoes and so forth. And she would literally say to the horses, "Now, Six Pack, I'm going to tell you," and she's got this big hoof, and she's a little lady, "and now, Six Pack, I told you, stay steady." And he'd push, "I won't tell you again, Six Pack." But somehow or other, to be able to connect with an animal like that, and that animal respects your respect for that animal, is amazing. And I think it goes further than that. When we talked about the World Equestrian Games, when we had it in Kentucky, and Kentucky was wonderful, and these games are wonderful, to see the children, for example, from Haiti that we brought down from our efforts down there, and for the most part they'd never seen horses before, and to see them actually walk out and be with the horses, and quite frankly I was terrified both for myself and for them, but they weren't terrified and the horse wasn't terrified. The horse and man's love of the horse transcends so many things, and so I salute what your organization is doing and has been doing and will do, and whatever we can do to help you. We're in 128 countries, and in 128 countries there are people, and those people love horses, and I think that's what it's all about. It brings us together, and your word solidarity is a great word.
Bongani, of course the games is as well, obviously the sport is sort of vital to it, paramount. But have you had an opportunity to look around and go down to the Alltech village, the games village, and have a look about it? You probably haven't had time yet, have you?
Oh, no, not so much. But I think this afternoon we'll stroll around for a little bit. But and we just had to go back and help the girls with because they were about to run in as well. So not so much time, but I think we'll have some time to look around. I think on Thursday we're not competing, so we'll have some time to look around and see what's there.
So what's the plans for the next couple of days, Grabow? Are you competing again tomorrow?
Tomorrow for freestyle.
For the freestyle tomorrow, okay. And is that a new routine that's been put together for the games?
Yeah, it's a new routine that we had to do in 3 weeks.
Okay. So will you do you practice that again today, or?
I think we're only going to do it on the barrel and they
Right. Oh, okay. Right. Do you bring the barrel with you, or do they provide barrels here?
I think they provide
Okay. Great. Well, we wish you both the very best of luck for the next few days. And Dr. Lyons, what's in store for you for the next week? We've got another week or so to go.
Is it a week?
Well, it's until next Sunday. No, it's not. It's 6-7 days or something.
You know, I came into these games this year as opposed to the last games, and I thought, this time I'm really going to relax, enjoy the games. And so what I'd like to do now, in fact, is continue to enjoy the games. I've enjoyed the games more this time than I did last time. And there's a reason for that, and I think the reason has been very good organisation, and I salute the organising committee, and there have been very, very few hiccups. I was out to see the eventing at Harass, and it was fantastic. The food was great. You know, how lucky can you get when you have no rain, you have a difficult course, which it needs to be, you have no rain, and then when it's all over, then it rained.
Yes.
So somebody is doing something well and something good. But what am I going to do? We're going to really enjoy it. We're looking forward to the Alltech festival, the music festival. We're looking forward to you know, seeing some show jumping. And the neat thing I think about the second week is that it's all in the one spot. You know, you can go from one to the other. So that makes it a little more interesting and flip from one place to the other. We're going to have fun.
Right. Well, thank you also for just. But can I just say, it's been a humbling experience meeting you. Thank you very much for coming on the show. And thank you all very much for coming, and we wish you all fun and enjoyment for the next week. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. We look forward to following Bongani and Caribou's progress this week. Sienna rushed around the venues yesterday to speak to some new arrivals.
It's the second week of the Alltech FEI World Equestrian Games, and there are 3 new disciplines. Carriage driving at the Hippodrome. There are teams from all over the world here for the driving, and this is the Hungarian team. Hello! What are the facilities like here for the driving?
Pretty good.
Yeah?
Yep.
So you're pretty happy with everything?
Yeah, just the showers.
Just the showers?
Yeah, cold water last night.
No,
But
you need hot water.
yeah, it's better. Yeah. But other than that, everything's perfect.
And the vaulting. This is so cool. Joanne Eccles, world champion, is in now. Eccles sisters have finished and they're just being interviewed by the press now.
It's going very well. We had a nice round with the team, so looking forward to the individuals.
So how was your performance today?
Yeah, our horse was a bit nervous, but it was okay, yes.
Can I just say, I love your eye makeup. Can we turn to the camera? You've got to show them, it's stunning.
I think it was nice.
It's beautiful. Did you do it?
Yes.
Jumping.
Yeah, it was a very tricky course. The faults were all over the place, so it really wasn't in any one particular place.
It was a very good sport today. I think the right horses were in front, and for the team competition it looks promising for Germany, France, Sweden.
Well, there's a whistle-stop tour for the events coming up this week. Something tells me it's going to be very action-packed.
I am delighted to be joined in the studio by CEO and founder of Ariat International, Beth Cross, double Olympic gold medalist Beezie Madden, and winner of the FEI Solidarity World Photo Grand Prix, Philippa Scarpa. Welcome, ladies, to Chez Philip this morning. Philippa, I'd like to start with your extraordinary story. First of all, many congratulations on the photograph that won you yet another award, because I know you're a multi-award winner. We've got the photograph in front of us here. Tell us the story about how that photograph came about, because it's all a bit unusual, because you're not an equestrian photographer, are you?
I'm not. I was in the competition in a marathon, photography marathon, and in a vineyard, and I saw the stables, and I moved to the stables instead of the vineyards, and I saw this horse. It was there, no people to distract, and it was perfect for the picture, and I took the picture. It was a luck. It was a luck, pure luck.
And I'm presuming you could see the sun rays coming through, and that the horse was just happened to be exactly in the right position.
He was still looking at me, as saying, "Take a picture. I'm waiting for you."
Now that was 2 years ago. Is that right? 2 years ago. But the story's had a very bizarre ending. Yes. Tell us.
Olivia Robinson asked me more details from the horse, and I had to write to the owners, and they say the name of the horse, Chez. He was going to be at the FEI games tomorrow.
Sure. So that horse is here as part of the Portuguese driving team, yes. I think.
At the driving Portuguese team. And I hope to see him tomorrow for the second time.
That's extraordinary. Well, many congratulations. Beezie, how many photographs have been taken of you over the last 25 years?
I need to count.
Actually, photography in the sport has obviously got incredibly more detailed and better. Do you have lovely photographs all over your house of your great horses?
We do, yeah. We try not to fill it too much full of horses, but yeah, it just happens that you have your favorite photographs of the animals you love.
Now, great start for you yesterday, super clear. And I saw McLean this morning, so he's got the team off onto another clear. Yeah. So things look good. I have to say, many congratulations to Team US, because there's so many of you in Europe over the last few weeks.
Thank you.
I think domination might be the right word at this present moment. It's been, and of course, the strength and depth of the riders that you've got, it's incredible.
Yeah, it was a pleasant surprise, I have to say, because you know, in the past we've been saying our depth isn't good enough, and we really need to work on young riders coming up, and I think we've done that over a couple of years, and now all of a sudden it looks pretty good.
I mean, you're a very experienced team member for the US. It must have been quite an unusual situation for Robert as chef de keep, because he had a fairly big bowl of people to choose from, where a lot of chef de keeps are saying, where the hell am I going to get my fourth member, you know? And that
like I say, it was a pleasant surprise. I think even in the beginning of the year you wouldn't have predicted it that way, but I think that everybody on the short list and some others really rose to the occasion this summer and came through for us.
Well, our best wishes to you and all the horses this weekend. Beth, Ariat, you founded the company, and rather interestingly, and I would say rather unusually, you came at footwear from a sporting angle, but particularly equestrianism. Are you a rider yourself?
I am. I grew up on a horse farm in Pennsylvania, and so rode from the time I was, just a baby, and so had not only a passion for the sport, but also kind of really understood that when you live and work around horses, it's not only riding, but working and spending a lot of time on the ground as well as in the saddle. So we, once I entered the working world, I was working as a consultant for Reebok and had a chance to really understand technology as it goes into sporting shoes. And the idea was born to take that same technology and put it into riding boots, not only to provide cushioning and stability while you're in the stirrup, but also when you're doing groundwork and just working around the horses. So,
I mean, did that come from a need from you personally? Were you riding and competing and thinking, I can probably do a bit better job than?
Yeah, not so much competing, certainly at the level of the people that are here. But living around horses, working around horses, and spending a lot of time in the saddle, it was clear that riding boots, 20, 30 years ago, they hadn't been updated, or there was no real technology or innovation. And so it was such a, I think, really exciting opportunity to bring that kind of innovation, that kind of technology to the footwear. And at the same time, having been a rider, I understood that you still need to deliver that classic, amazing, beautiful look of traditional riding boots. So the challenge for us was to take that technology but put it inside the boot and yet keep that classic look of the boot at the same time.
Now, Beezy is a brand ambassador for Ariat. Do you involve the athletes in your research and development? How does that work?
We try to as much as possible, and we need to understand the needs of the rider and anticipate the future needs of the rider as the sport becomes even more competitive and more challenging, as the athletes just continue to evolve their game. And so we work on thinking through what are the requirements for the rider, and we also try to marry that with where the technology is going. And so how can technology solve the anticipated needs of the rider? And that's really where it becomes fun. So to work with someone like Beezy, who is really at not only the top of the sport, but also actively thinking about where the sport is going, how riding is going, how to continue to improve her performance. That's just a perfect marriage for a company like Ariat. It really keeps us at the front.
Historically, boots have been developed or started with the cavalry, and that's how most of the footwear came from. But Beezy, I've noticed over the last 20 years that the leather's got softer, the boots have got slimmer. I mean, it's almost like you're wearing a pair of socks, actually. In fact, the ones you've got on now look like that. Is that important to you? Is there a feel factor? Do you get more feeling with the horse or whatever like that?
For sure, you like to feel the side of the horse on the inside of your leg. And it used to be when you got a pair of new boots, it took you a month or so to get them broken in where you wanted to wear them in competition. But with these boots, you can just put them on and go. They're soft. They're easy to wear, they're not slippery. And
in terms of not just footwear, but in terms of the overall development of riding apparel, and also I'm just talking about human wear, I'm talking about tack and everything. Do you've been a member of the US team for several years. Have you changed the way of the things that you use a lot during that time? I mean, do you ever use any bits of equipment that you had 25 years ago when you were riding, or is that all changed and gone now? Do you have any favourite reins or anything like that?
I think it's a funny sport like that, the horses are real athletes, and we're athletes, but really there's the saddle, the bridle, a lot of that. There's saddles that fit the horses better now and all that kind of stuff, but a lot of it's similar and subtle changes, like the clothing is more comfortable to wear and easier to work with. And people come out with new bits all the time, but you really end up, myself, going back to traditional things. But I mean, my stirrups are a little different now, and the Ariat clothing is always improving, so we do go with that. But it's amazing. It's not like golf or tennis or something like that, where your equipment makes the sport. It helps for sure.
Certainly.
That little bit of edge.
Sure. And the key thing really must be comfort and versatility, I guess. Exactly. Yeah. So Beth, where do you go from here? I mean, is there still more work to be done in terms of footwear and clothing, of course? Beezy just mentioned about your clothing range, but in terms of developing footwear, are you still progressing now? Are you still going back to the athletes saying, we want to do this better? How can we make this a bit,
Every day. We're in the middle of a research project right now with one of the major universities using athletes and really testing and monitoring how the pressure is applied on the foot while it's in the stirrup, during the course of a jump, the takeoff and the landing, and really taking it down to science. And we're able to use new technology to gain new insights into how a rider and a horse interact. And that's driving so many new ideas, and it will be driving innovations. It starts with the idea and gets through to the technology, the materials, the components, and then eventually end up in a boot. And we'll see a lot of that, those changes come through in the next 5 years.
We talked about where that came from in terms of equestrianism. Are you moving into other sports? So you may already do, and I apologise if you are and I don't know about it, but are you looking at other sports as well?
Yeah, our pure passion is horses.
Okay,
and there's many sports within that world,
sure.
And they're different and the requirements are different, but that's our sole focus. And that is more than a full-time job, is the sport of horses.
But an enjoyable one.
It's the best job in the world.
You're going to kick around horse shows like this.
It's a privilege, honestly. It's a dream come true to
I
have
agree
this
with you.
be.
Philippa, I just want to ask you, one of the things that we established was that you're not actually an equestrian photographer, or you weren't when you took your photograph. I noticed that you're wearing a photographer's Alltech FEI World Equestrian Games jacket. Are you a photographer here at the show this weekend?
No, only for one day.
Oh, okay.
Yes, I'm going to make one top class with a writer's photography.
Okay. So you've not decided to go into equestrian or horse photography since your photograph?
Waiting for invitations.
Oh, okay. I'm sure they'll come.
I hope so.
Well, Beezy, there's a bit of work to be done for you guys. As I mentioned earlier, you've started well. The arena's looking great. The crowds, I mean, there's 22,000 people you can get in that stadium. It's been full several times over the last week, and the atmosphere in there has been fantastic. I thought the fences, these fence designers, again, you must have seen some changes over the years. I almost get the feeling there's a challenge amongst them. Who can be more creative? Do you think there is?
I think so.
They look beautiful, though. I mean, I know you've still got to jump them, but they do look amazing.
Yeah, they are beautiful here.
When you come into an arena and you see something like that wall, which I've never seen anything like that before in terms of its colour and design, what are you thinking when because it's not just about the height and your approach and the related distance from the previous fence. Are you thinking to yourself, not sure what he's going to think about that?
The material definitely makes a difference. I have to say, when we walked the course yesterday, though, I wouldn't have picked that as a fence to cause a big problem. It looked plain enough, really.
Sure.
But I think the contrast in colors in it must have looked funny to the horses, and maybe the little hole under the wall, but I think more they were looking at the top of the wall and stuff. And the placement of the wall right in the end of the ring was a little difficult.
And you've walked the course today, I know, because you were jumping later on. And how does the course look today?
It looks nice. It's for sure tougher than yesterday, and should separate some of us, but it still looks very fair. So.
Right. Beth, you're going to hang around for the week, are you, and enjoy yourself?
Yes.
Great. Well, I hope you have a very nice time. Philippa, you're disappearing. You're staying for another day, you say? Another day. Okay, well, thank you very much for bringing your photograph to us, and many congratulations once again. Beezy, I sincerely hope that you put 2006 Aachen right this week, and the very best of luck for that, and the best of luck, I say, to all the horses as well. But thank you all very much indeed for joining us. Thank you very much. Let's hear from Sienna for our daily social media roundup.
FEI's Instagram page has a very artistic photo in black and white of vaulters from yesterday, dressed in sleek white outfits, looking like something out of the Royal Ballet. Over on the FEI's Facebook page, more vaulting photos are up, as well as photos of a thoroughly entertained crowd, and I'm not surprised, it's an incredible sport to watch. On FEI's Twitter, FEI have tweeted a great quote about the WEGs by Ian Miller from Canada, who was 8th in the jumping speed class yesterday. He said, "It brings out the very best in everybody, #jumping. Also, a fantastic photo has been retweeted of the Brazilian vaulters with the caption, "Amazing stuff from the teeny tiny Brazilian flyer, #WEG. Bye for now, See you tomorrow for more social media updates.
Well, that's it on Chez today. We'll be back, as usual, tomorrow, day 12.